Okay, so let's start off warming up in downward facing dog. So stretch out your hands and knees and lift your hips up, plant your hands down, stretch and breathe in your downward dog. Move yourself back out to plank pose. Yep. And back to downward dog. Press your hands down firmly, especially through the tips of your fingers. Squeeze your inner edges of your hands down and toward the center. Firm your arms and release your head. Keeping that pressure and muscular actions in your arms, your hands, walk back out to plank pose. Firm across your deep core from the back of your ribs around to the front of your body. Tone your navel toward your spine. Now take your knees down and take your elbows down to the floor. So this is a forearm plank. That's it. Keeping your waist connected into the center. So locate and engage the muscles from your waist into the center of your front body, including your navel to spine. Keeping that, take your right hand where your right elbow is, crawl up to straight arm plank, push the floor away, stretch across your shoulder blades, and downward facing dog. Walk your feet up to your hands and bend your knees. Put your hands on your shins, lengthen your chest out, your spine out. A mini standing, half standing forward fold, mini Ardha Uttanasana. That's it. Now put your hands back down, walk back to downward dog. Bend one knee, press the other heel down, stretch that leg. Breathe deeply into your body. So we start to bring a sense of light in. Think of light as anything or something specific for you. Like, is it energy? Is it healing? Is it nurturing? And bend one knee at a time, reach the other heel down. Stretching your legs, just pedal your heels back and forth, just warming up, meeting your body with your breath and your stretch. Now take your right foot to your right hand and your left knee down and take your arms down to the floor in the inside and turn your right foot out a slight angle so your knee goes out and lean side to side. Stretch across your hips. Breathe deeply as you find somewhere in there to hang out for a few moments, maybe 3 or 4 breaths. You can use the blocks under your elbows or maybe a chair. And here, start to breathe a little more deeply into your belly, the upper belly that's right below your ribs, diaphragm. When you inhale there, it will press your belly open. So breathe deeply into your diaphragm, or sometimes I'll call that the upper belly. And switch sides, take your left foot forward. You're free to move through a downward dog before you switch, or just switch to the other side. Take your elbows down. Breathe deeply, slowly. You feel like you almost can take light in from the space around you and stretch that renewing light into your body. I like the feeling of light as love. It kind of means so much, like nurturing, accepting love. You set your practice, your yoga practice, with that attitude of kindness, sweetness. Let the bigger breaths and your softening attitude just flow through you as you start your practice, as we just send light into our bodies, into ourselves. What does light mean for you? Make a connection to that and a quality you might remember throughout your practice. Come back up to hands and knees. And a little more stretch to your hips, so swing your hips to one side, just drop down there, opening up the sides, over to the other side. And then crawl your knees back to a knee down plank, press the floor away, press your shoulder blades away from your spine. Anchor your deep core across your waist and your abdominal core, navel to spine. That's it. Now, keeping that, you may like to take a challenge a little more athletic as an option. You can take your knees up or keep them down. I took mine up this time. Now roll down or make your way down to forearm plank. So take your left elbow where your left hand is, and you'll sway a little, but see if you can keep a balance of hips, waist facing the floor while you take now your right elbow down and manage the swaying as you come back up. Right hand down, pressing the floor away, and then left hand pressing the floor away. Downward dog. Firm your arms, reach back your hips, stretch, release your head, breathe deeply. You could feel that sense of light we start our practice with as breath, as light-filled air that sweetly touches you and tenderly helps open you. Take your knees down and reach back to child pose. As you, in your variations, you all need. So you could have your hips up, or you could sit a little more down on your heels. Let's come back up to hands and knees actually. So before you go into more of a child pose, see if you can pull your navel to spine, flex your spine completely. And some of you, if you need more support with your knees, you'll stay here in this position. You just bring more tone to the front of your, engage more tone in the front of your body and find new places you can pull up and stretch your back. Even the mid-back. Use structural adjustments to make that happen, like push the floor away, tuck your chin in, pull your low ribs up, pull your navel up, and stretch your back, stretch your buttock under. Keeping the shape of your spine, even deepening the shape of your spine here, rock back maybe toward child pose. You might just stay up there and explore how much more short you can make your front and how much more stretch in your back. Get really connected. Keep breathing through your nostrils. When you get down toward your child pose, push the floor away with your hands and stretch your back. Can you feel that stretch in your back? I do. Yeah, that's it. Keep going. Now imagine your sense of light is flowing in from the space above you, like the sun does for the new plant growth, to create cause the plants to grow. Create that energy and growth. And as you bring that light in, remembering the seed within you, the potential. And here, the quality of light as more of a core, like a light of potential, a light of what's called in yoga pure awareness, steadiness within, which often is referred to in my traditions as Shiva, or there's other phrases, just attention, awareness, centering. So fold into that seed within you as you infiltrate light into your back. Hold the front of your body firmly. Now let's roll up and either sit carefully, take your time, either sit on the block in Virasana, or some of you could sit on your heels in Vajrasana. If you need some support, of course, you can take a pillow or blanket behind your thighs. So sit in a seat. So we can take a moment for Om. Take your hands together. And we'll offer in our first vertical position of the day. Close your eyes. Press the base of your thumbs into the center of your sternum as you feel that space, or imagine you could feel the space right behind your sternum as your energetic heart. You may feel your heart as one of the central places, that there's a mixture, an optimal mixture of that light that the sun represents, or sweetness, and the light of the seed potential. May we connect with both qualities and their energies, their support within us, as we offer the sound of Om, inhaling into your heart. Fold your forehead. Make a sincere bow to the power, in the sacred power of potential, strength within yourself. Resiliency. It's independent of circumstance. And the offer to the experiences, the expansive qualities, even the light that flows in through us and out from us. Any personalized offering you wish to make for today's practice, what you feel is an offering of gratitude or an offering of hope. Release your hands and open your eyes slowly as you lift your chest. Let's come back up. Let's come to standing for the first time. So stand up. For some variations in our standing poses, they're not going to be too crazy, but take your hands, your block, set up your feet wide apart, and when you do so, put your blocks behind your heels. Yeah. Now let's take your arms out open,
Yes, so your arms wide, horizontal, and line up your feet underneath your hands. That's right. Turn your left heel out, your right foot open. Warrior two pose. Bend your right knee. That's it. Now stretch your right arm open, side bending. Stretch backwards. We call it reverse warrior. Lean into your left leg. Good. Now come back up to warrior two. Stand up, straighten your front leg, and turn around to the other side. Turn your left heel out, or your right heel out, and your left foot open. Bend your left knee. Warrior two. Lean into your back leg and take your left arm up. Stretch and breathe through your side. Remember the quality of light that you wish to connect with. Maybe it's a phrase or a feeling, and keep that for you throughout the practice as we clarify the quality of attention just through the alignment actions or your focus in the structure of your body. Come back up and turn around to feet parallel. Bend your knees, jump or walk back in. Bend your knees, jump or walk back out. We'll go back to warrior two. Left foot out, right foot open. Bend your right knee. This time, press both feet down, almost like you could jump. We were doing a workout like online last night actually, and it almost was like that, where you almost had to jump up. Don't do it now, but almost like you're going to jump. Push your feet straight down. And find which one can you push, do you need to push more to get more balance of pressure through both feet. Once you get the pressure through both feet, then start to squeeze your feet toward the center of your mat. So start to squeeze in your feet together. That's it. Now we're going to add on from all that connection of your feet in, sit down more. Drive your feet toward the center. I just fixed my front foot. And your back foot, line up your front heel with the inside of your back foot. Feet pull in, seat down. Now take your arms up, and please take your left arm around underneath. This is going to be eagle pose here. In warrior two, eagle arms. Left arm under. Broaden your shoulder blades off your spine. Keep pressurizing down. Press down your both feet, stomp down the floor, but lift up the bottom of your feet, the very inside of your foot, like the very middle of the bottom of your foot. Try to pull that up. Come back out of the eagle arms and straighten your front leg. That's it. Turn around to the other side. Bend your left knee, press your feet down, squeeze them together, and when you sit your hips straight down, keep your hips lined up. So move the front of your left thigh back, and your right thigh back is going to go up higher. Both thighs widen against the press of your feet in. So now pull both outer ankles in toward the center. So you ground more through your inner feet while you widen both thighs. Pull your right thigh up, your left thigh back. Now arms up, right arm underneath, eagle. How much can you widen your right thigh? Can you lift it up a little higher? Can you pull your left thigh back a little more? And into that space in your sitting bones that are now wider, can you anchor down just slightly to level your pelvis? Anchor the back of your seat under just slightly, from which you can rise up from your belly to chest. That's it. Now release your arms and come back up. That's it. And turn your feet parallel. Inch your feet a little closer in so they're just not quite as wide as your hands, maybe as wide as your wrist. Hinge forward, hands on, get the blocks behind you. Now fold out to Prasarita Padottanasana here. The first form. That's it. Press your feet, lift your seat, lengthen your spine. How much can you reach your hips back and your spine forward? Keep working that. Bend your knees enough to get your low back curving in, optimally neutral. That means the sacrum and the lumbar spine are lowering down and concave. Sitting bones back.
Now lift your arms out, turn your thumbs up, and keep the work of your feet squeezing in. Sitting bones back, belly, chest forward. Sitting bones back, belly, chest forward. Can you move the length of your spine all the way through the roof of your mouth, the soft palate to the top of your head? Get longer. Hold your hips back further and pull your pubic bone, belly, chest, the soft palate to your skull longer. That's it. Stand back up. Bend your knees, hands together, jump or walk back in. Now go back out wide again, please. Triangle pose, turn your right heel open and your right foot open. Take your arms up, shift your hips to your left. Triangle pose, you can put the blocks back behind your foot and right hand on the block, left arm up. Think about what we just did. So you made in the last pose where your hips went back further and your spine goes longer. So hips back, spine long. Hips back further, spine gets longer. And just remember where you just were, where your belly was facing the floor. See if you can organize it on the side here, out through the top of your head. And line everything up like you're on one line, like a cosmic pole down the center of you, which is what's talked about quite a bit in yoga meditation, this vertical line, which here it's on its side. So lift your left arm up and reach out from your hips to your head. Now start to turn back, lean your left arm back, turn your right belly up like you're turning around this pole, this line of energy, looping around it. Press your left foot down, stand up, and turn around to the other side. Take your left block down and shift your hips to your right, left hand on the block. Press your feet. And I know this time of the day we sometimes feel the back of our legs here, but get up a little higher so your legs are straight. Hips back, spine long. Find the length between your hips, navel, chest, roof of mouth, and take your arms up. That's it. Press back your hips, reach out your spine. Now turn your torso on the length of your spine. Turn from your left side. I took my hand there to show from the left side turn. Soften your right side, lengthen, turn, lengthen, turn. Keep the work of your feet in, legs straight as you can, lengthen, turn. Press your right foot, inhale, lift your right arm, stand up. Turn around to walk your feet in a little more. And just kind of wrist level again. Interlace your fingers behind your back. Lift up through your chest. Yeah. Squeeze your upper back. Lift your sternum up. Now, variation for Prasarita Padtanasana with your hands interlaced. Hold your throat back so that you, as if you were holding a tennis ball right in your neck, your chin. As you lead this length, come out halfway like we did before, lengthen belly to chest. Now find the bonus, the extra work in your arms. So bend your elbows, sides long through your underarms. Start to bend your elbows and now pull your knuckles, your hands backwards in an angle as you take everything a little more forward. Lead through your chest toward the floor. Reach your chest toward the floor. And see if you can breathe. Eventually pull your arms a little straighter and find the right angle for you that's stretching your chest and the sides of your shoulders. Fold your spine more. You're free to flex your spine slightly so your navel pulls up toward your back. Stretching out through your arms. And now come back up halfway. Reach your chest up without lifting your chin and stand up. Good. Release that, turn to the other side. Let's do one more standing pose right now in this side position variation. So turn to side, back to the side. Your feet wide apart. Turn your left foot out, your right foot open. And this time, let's combine what we just did. So rise up through your sides, interlace your fingers, and maybe switch the interlock of your finger to the other one. Rise up and bend your right knee, sides long here. Now take your chest down inside, out toward the inside of your right leg. Keep the work of your left leg high, and now stretch down. Some people call this prayerful warrior. Reach your sitting bones back. Squeeze your feet in toward the center, outer ankles into inner feet. Widen both thighs. Left thigh up, right thigh wide, and slightly lengthen from your navel to your chest now. Lengthen out. Slowly come back up and turn around to the other side. Rise up, switch the interlock of your fingers, lift, rise, organize, and this one your spine shape changes. So it starts out kind of neutral here, come out halfway. Neutral spine is your low back in, there's a little rounding in your upper back, and then your spine is less, once you start off lengthening out your neutral spine, lengthen out as long as you can, then you can fold it a little more, you can slightly bow and flex your spine. Of course you're getting a big stretch as you bend your left knee. And as you flex your spine slightly, you can lengthen your tail under just slightly toward your right heel. Breathing deeply if you can. And come all the way back up. Great. Feet parallel. Bend your knees and jump back in. Super. Let's take tree pose. So stand, you might need a wall, so you can hold the wall. I'm going to show about the wall. Turn your left foot out and hold your left ankle. Put your left foot up in your right inner thigh and reach down through your left knee. That's it. Core open as if you receive sun, or balancing, I'm okay. Light. Anchor into that pure potential or seed strength within you, and then make something happen from that combo of strength and softening. Reach your belly chest up. Strengthen your legs down. Even reach through your left knee down. Reach up higher. Ground down more strongly. Hands back to your center and back down. Switch to the other side. Turn your right foot out. Squeeze your left thigh in. Pick up your right foot. Hold your ankle. Press your foot into your thigh or your calf. Tree pose. Press in. Rise. Soften your breath. Let your breath even be that light of loving sweetness as you challenge yourself. Do so with compassion and kindness. And there's hopefully a little fun here as you reach up and play with the teetering. Reach down. We might get a thunderstorm later, so this may be an example of what's going to happen on our big oak trees. We root down, they're anchored amazingly, and there's some swaying up there at those limbs. Yeah, you can come in and out. Reach up, let yourself sway and have a little fun with it, and back down. Eventually, everybody. Good. Okay, let's go to eagle pose now. So we got to use the arms, let's do the legs. So separate your feet a little more. For a variation, some of you may like to lean into the wall and have the wall support behind you, or have the wall for pretty close so you have an elbow distance to the wall. So you could use the elbow when you at the wall. I'm kind of show without it. So step your feet a little wider, bend your knees slightly, take your left leg over your right, squeeze your legs, left arm underneath. You can wrap your legs around, or another support is to take the block. You can, of course, come in and out till you get this, or as you're getting your form. You can take a block there on the outside of your right foot and step on it with your left foot. Left arm under, left leg over, squeeze, strengthen to your center. Soften yourself so you can find your center without strain. So it's some effort. There's the right amount of ease. Stand back up. I remember one of my first experiences with that was like in sports in high school. It was basically running with track sports. And take your right leg across, switch sides. And early on, this coach was really great. Now that I look back, I realized take your right arm underneath. Because we would do these intense workouts and we were very competitive. So, and I was really into it. It was like my thing. But he would always say, soften your face, soften, soften, soften. And I never heard that before. Of course, I was only 15, 16. But since then, I saw the difference of the positive impact that made. Soften your face, soften your jaw. While you're doing intense things, even here, soften. It actually makes it easier. Slowly come back up. Stretch your thighs. Good. Let's go back on our backs now. We'll take a bridge pose. So lie down on the floor and interlace, start to set up, get something. Set up and lie down on the floor for bridge pose. And when you're down there, before you get all settled down, get a couple of blankets nearby, your chair, block. Yeah, so bridge pose. Lift up. Yeah, you guys can see me. Lift your hips up, interlace your fingers. Walk your arm, lean to your one side to the other. Press the back of your arms. Reach out through your knees. Strengthen your gluteal muscles. And stretch your hands back toward your feet as you breathe into your chest. Start the breath in your diaphragm still, like below your ribs. Release the clasp of your hands. Take your legs down. Stretch your arms over your head. Reach out through your feet. Supta, lying down Tadasana, Supta Tadasana. So now bend your knees, and we're going to roll to the side, please. Set up the blankets for a combination of bridge on the blanket that might move some of us up to shoulder stand. So set the blankets up at the edge, and some of you will get a nice chair inversion. Blankets on the edge of the mat. Make firm, smooth edges, like this. Then take your mat and please fold it up over the edges, setting that connection up. That's it, keeping that. Sorry about that. Yeah, keeping that connection. Now, take a couple of blocks underneath, and we're going to just come up into bridge on the edge of the blankets first. So first set up your blankets, your head on the floor level, and make sure your shoulders are at the edge. You rock yourself underneath, interlace your fingers, lift your hips. Press the back of your arms, tuck your chin into chest. Practice breathing deeply. Practice working your hips up higher and higher and higher. You may even lift off your heels. Lift and reach out through your knees. Now if that bothers your back, come back down some. Good. Take 2 deep breaths. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Release the clasp of your hands and come back down. Stretch your legs out, stretch your arms out. I'm going to show you now while we're here, in a moment we're going to do shoulder stand variations, but when you come out of shoulder stand in a moment, this is what you'll do. You'll sit at the edge of the blankets and slide your shoulders down to the floor level like this. Your head and shoulders. So that's what we'll do in just a few moments, and you can have your hips up here or do anything, a lot of variations with your legs. Now let's go to shoulder stand or its variation. So the first variation will be chair out here, and sometimes you need an extra support like a pillow, which I'm going to get. So you have your legs on the chair and here, like this. So climb in the same way you just did, and your feet aren't really going up here. Your hips are on the floor, your shoulders underneath. You get the bridge. I put my hips up slightly. Then you take your hips down and your feet on the chair. I think what we need to do actually is sit this back. So this, you need to have your hips on the chair and the blanket up here. Sorry about that. So your legs here, hips on the blanket, and then your shoulders and head on the floor level. So the chair version is like this. Yeah, and that's a wonderful version. So some of you will stay there, and a few of you will practice at the wall with shoulder stand. So that will be without the plow pose. You'll take your mats toward the wall and climb up the wall. So you have your heads out on the floor, and your feet will climb up the wall to make shoulder stand. If you know plow pose and your feet can go on the floor and you can do shoulder stand through plow pose, go for that. So for this one, your head goes on the floor level, my feet are climbing up the wall, and then I'm going to make sure I don't slide off the blankets. Shoulder blade, interlace my fingers, and take your hands to your back. So doing your version of Sarvangasana, shoulder stand, and up. Reach through your inner thighs, reach your inner feet up, reach your outer feet down. Lift up through your legs higher as you walk your hands down toward the floor, down toward your neck. Draw your back ribs into your front ribs. Inner thighs go in, and then lengthen your tail up. Press the back of your arms. And if you have your legs on the chair, like I showed, your hips on the blankets, and your shoulders and head on the floor level. And a few of you, if you're up here, you can take one leg at a time out as a variation. One leg out over your head. Rope, keep strong through your feet, pulling in. Turn the other one up, and the other one back out. Back up to the center. Now take your feet back to the wall. Lower down the wall, lower your hips down. And everybody everybody, if you had the chair, move the chair, or just, you're good. You can keep your feet on the chair for now. And people that you had your legs up the wall, move the whole blanket setup away from the wall. Stay kind of low to the ground. Then get your shoulder blades on the floor level, your hips up on the blankets, and rest and relax for a moment here. Receive your shoulder stand, release. Notice your breath rising and releasing on its own rhythm. Bend your knees, roll to your side, please. And we'll go back up to hands and knees, move the blankets aside. Now, prep for another inversion prep. So interlace your fingers underneath your hands, like that, like interlace your fingers and put your elbows down on the floor. Release your head for dolphin. So lift up your legs, walk your feet wider, release your head. Shoulder blades move away from your spine. Shoulder blades move away from your neck. Breathe into your diaphragm, stretch. Press your arms down securely. Some of you will keep working this dolphin, your head off the floor, and a few of you will take your head down. You can also go to the wall. And with your head down, or not, I don't recommend this if you're new to it. If you know Shirshasana 1, you can walk into it and walk up, knees face the ceiling, or feet at the wall. Feet here will go toward the wall, or come up. Shirshasana 1, headstand 1, or dolphin. And if you're finished with dolphin, come down and take plank pose, forearm plank. Dolphin again. Headstand, press your arms. Reach strongly through your legs. Reach your inner thighs in. Lengthen your buttock up. Tail up. Reach your shoulder blades up away from your neck. And deepen your attention, your awareness, and your whole body all at once. As you strengthen yourself to balance and even work the actions in the dolphin. One more round of breath. And slowly come back down. Everybody, child pose. Stack your hands and reach your forehead in your hands. Please come back out to hands and knees. Now take a blanket under your knees. We'll move into some other poses before we go up to standing. A few back bending poses, simple but amazing, a little more energy. So take your right foot forward and tuck your left toes under. This is Anjaneyasana. Take your hands to your top hip points. Tip your hip points down so your pelvis tilts forward and start to curve your back in. Sweep your arms up as you bend from the front of your pelvis up through your belly, up through your chest. Strengthen across your core to stay safe as you bend up, open up. Reach up through the top of your mouth, the soft palate. Slowly come back down and switch sides. Take your right knee on the prop and bend your left knee up. Anjaneyasana. Hip points down, squeeze your feet together for balance, rise up and open up. And some of you can drop through your front knee a little more to stretch back, open, reach and stretch the front of your body as you strengthen your back. Slowly come back through and lie down on the floor on your belly now. And this is bow pose variation, so just see what your body can do safely. So I'm going to go ahead and teach it straight with the feet bending both knees. So hold your hands, bend your knees and hold your hands to the top of both feet. Squeeze your feet toward the center, press out through your feet, strengthen your abdominal core, your deep core as you protect, and then stretch up. So some of the abdominal core, like more close to your skin, will start to stretch as you fasten together more horizontally to stabilize. Fasten those deep muscles together. Stretch up, Dhanurasana bow. Slowly come back down. Stack your hands, release your forehead and your hands. Keep your toes tucked under. Switch your legs side to side. Also, variation for bow is one-legged bow, so you can use your hand to your foot. And your arms straight. That's it. We'll go with the arms straight, so it's more of a bow than a thigh stretch. So if you have your arm bent, make it straight. And use that to stretch your chest. Or if you can get both feet, let's go with both feet again. So you can, I was showing that, so you can use one leg at a time or have both feet. So I'm showing with one leg at a time here. And you're free to take both feet at any time. Feet in and up, stretch up. Try to pull your belly chest forward. Reach up through the soft palate and through the top of your head. Soften what you can, strengthen what you need to, and slowly come back down. Soften your forehead and your stacked hands. Make sure you can breathe. And please press back up to hands and knees. Reach back to downward facing dog, please. Press the floor away, release your head, breathe, and stretch your breath more evenly here. Reach slow, smooth breath. Good. Please take your right leg up in the air, make a three-leg dog. Inhale there. Exhale, right foot forward, and set it for either same one we just did, Anjaneyasana, or back heel off the floor, leg up. So you can take your knee down or have it up. Climb your hands on your front thigh, sweep your arms up, bend the front of your body, stretch and breathe. Exhale, take your hands down to the floor and back to downward facing dog. Inhale, big stretch. Exhale, big breath. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Exhale, left foot forward. Climb up your left thigh. Open it up. Inhale and exhale. Again, back knee can be a little bent, can be down. These look awesome. Everybody joining me live. Reach up, stretch back. Come back through, downward dog or hands and knees. Press down your hands, let your head release, breathe deeply. Find the balance of how much further back your legs can go and how much higher up your arms can go. Arms higher, legs further back. And what's the amount of
rib connection you need in to balance and stretch your back while you breathe that section open. Let it loosen more on the inhale. Take your right foot up in the air again, inhale. Exhale, step it forward. This time, warrior one with your heel down. So take your left foot a little wider, turn your left thigh in, organize your left outer hip around, and start to climb up your right thigh. So start to open up, sweep your arms open, start to lean more into your outer left heel. Make that leg super strong, the anchor. And from that anchor, sense of courageous strength within you, you can open, breathe more freely, with more lightness, even release layers that might be covering, for all of us human beings, covering what's known as a real underlying joy, at the heart of ourselves. You breathe open, reach up. Turn your left heel up and lower back down, downward facing dog. Breathe deeply. Step your left foot forward and set up for warrior one. Your right foot a little wider. Rotate your right thigh in. Start to ground your right heel as you keep your hips square to the front, right outer foot down. Rise up. I have my foot a little wider because I'm working with how I need a little wider to start off with to keep my hips square to the front. And some of you don't need it that wide. I put my hands there to show hands square to the front, or hip bones even with the front edge of your mat. Reach up, bend back. See if you can reach your chest up toward the ceiling with your back muscles, like your bridge pose. Chest up, arc back, stretch, inhale. Exhale, flow back down to downward facing dog. Inhale here, big breath in the center of your belly. Exhale, large stretch, so expanding light through your limbs. Push the floor away, reach your thighs back. Another warrior one, lift your right leg up. Step your right foot forward. Now this one, you can put your left heel down or have it up, either way. So I'm going to put mine down. It's a little easier to balance. So step it wider, rotate it in. Rotate that thigh in and start to reach. If you're having it down, make sure you reach through your outer foot. Hips square to the front. How much more outer heel can you get down? Now take your arms out and interlace your fingers behind your head. Little more back bending, emphasis, and chest stretching. Pull your elbows wide, stretch your chest up. Lift your chest to the ceiling, the sky. Fill with light, like filling with sun. Ground down through your legs, and from your connection, your strength, rise up from your waist, up and out through your head. Inhale, fill with light. Exhale, from your strength and attention, your alignment, rise up with renewing light, up and out, even through the top of your head. Slowly come back around to downward dog. Breathing, for some of us, breathing deeply. It's a great physical, some heat. Let yourself breathe as you normally would, like you're walking up a hill, riding your bike up a hill. Step your left foot forward. Last one, your right foot a little wider. Turn it in, spin it in, and set your right heel down. Let's just do it with the back heel down. I think most of you all live do, so I'm just going to suggest that for everybody. Right heel down. Turn, lean a little forward so you can get that
a connection from your right front ribs all the way through your right outer heel. I know it's a big calf stretch. And then find the right amount of left knee bend as you rise up. Interlace your fingers behind your skull. Pull your elbows apart, lift up through your heart, and just focus on your breath in and out of your deep heart, like behind your sternum. You slow down your breath as you hold your attention to your alignment. Slow down and smooth out your breath. Soften your face. There's a little pleasure in there, maybe. Slowly come back around to the floor, hands and knees, or downward dog. Stretch it back. Press, stretch, reach your sides longer, your legs further back, release your head. Now let's go to right foot forward. We're going to wind down with some leg stretches. Right foot forward, and you'll want to have the blocks again up by that foot. So take a moment to get those. And Parsvottanasana. Right foot forward, hands on the blocks. Hips square to the front. Inhale, spine long. Legs strong and straight. Work your outer right hip down. And work your spine long. That's great. Step forward. Stand up. Switch sides. Hinge at your hips. Take your right leg back. Maybe not quite so far back as the warrior one. So just a shorter stance, but the same foot alignment. Turn your right inner thigh in. Anchor your left outer hip down. Anchor your outer ankles into your inner feet. Reach out your chest, inhaling and exhaling. Inhale and exhale, spine longer. Inhale, legs stronger. Exhale, spine longer. Legs stronger, spine longer. Extend through your soft pallid even. Notice that spaciousness within your skull. Or you can imagine. Walk the blocks forward and step forward. Stand up. Let's go to twisted triangle now. So I'm going to go the other way so I can see you. So step your left leg back. Start in Parsvottanasana. Inhale here, spine long. And you can also use a chair. I have one right up here to show. You can use the chair, of course, with your legs, with your hands on the chair, to work your legs straight, your spine long. And if your legs are straight, your spine is neutral, you can put your hands on the blocks lower. Now please take your left hand across the outside of your right foot on the blocks, or the outside of that chair by your right foot. And keep your eyes straight ahead. Hips level, spine, eyes straight ahead for as long as you can, then start to turn from your left side and take your right arm up. Lengthen, strengthen, and rotate. Strengthen, lengthen, rotate. Strengthen, anchor, lengthen, all right, and turn. Lengthen through the top of your head. You can even turn from your left ear. You can turn your neck. Slowly come back down and step forward, stand up. Oh, great. And turn to the other side. So take your left foot forward, your right leg back. Lengthen. And switch. Eventually take your blocks around the outside of your left foot. Right hand there. Hips level. Spine long. And rotate around the length of your spine. Of course, you get this great hip stretch. Left hip down. Tone your belly enough to turn you. And turn from your right side. That's it. Hold yourself together. This one has a lot more qualities, of course, of steadiness, support. See if you can mix in, just sprinkle in a little bit of softening. Strengthen, especially soften through your jaw. That whole face off is amazing. It lines up your skull, your throat, and the roof of your mouth with your spine, with your pelvic floor. And then turning your trunk, your body around that length. Of course, your spine doesn't extend into your head, but we think of it through the top of your head in yoga because it creates so much great posture, and then the energy works through the yoga. Lengthen through the top of your head. Yes, and slowly come back down. And stand up. Stretch up to Urdhva Hastasana. Reach up high. Press your legs down. Reach your arms up. Arms up over your head. Inhale. Exhale. Push your feet down. Inhale. Reach down to the ground. Exhale. Reach your belly chest higher. Inhale. Reach your legs down. Exhale. Reach up higher. Sweep your arms down to your sides. Tadasana. Notice your heartbeat, notice your breath, your normal rhythm. And we're going to take your feet, go back to the wall as an option. Some of you don't need it, of course, but just as an option to balance, you can have one hand on the wall for a standing hip stretch. Take your right ankle over your left and stretch your outer right hip. Here you can use the blocks, it's a little easier. Press your right ankle bone strongly onto your left thigh. Reach out through your right knee. Great. And you can take, I love that with the chairs, everybody, my live participants, your forearms can go on your shins. Another balancing option. Another option is to fold a little more forward. Just play around with stretching your hip, basically from this pose. And come back up. And one more asana before pranayama. So take your left leg around, press your ankle on your thigh, and just let those hips release. You can start to take in the effects, the benefits, the feeling you've given yourself from all the focus and that mixture of loving light. You feel some spaciousness, some maybe inkling the window into what's our core of our true nature. It's said to be real joy within all circumstance, within everything. Simple pleasure. Sometimes we start to just release what blocks that natural spaciousness, that natural ease. And that's the biggest aspect of yoga and meditation. We don't have to do more, just have to be ourselves and create the optimal conditions. Yes. Now release that foot and then fold forward to even things out. So bend your knees. We do two versions of Uttanasana. Bend knees, sitting bones up, and then we're going to do bend knees, lean into the front of your feet, do legs straight. So a stretch completely through your straight legs. You can do the chair. Make sure when you bend your knees, you're pressing to the front of your feet, then start to straighten your legs without losing your shins forward, and press your lower legs forward and your upper legs back. side of the chair, or you can use the blocks. Low legs forward, upper legs back. Squeeze your thighs, stretch your backs of your legs. Now turn it into a forward fold back stretch, as you might need to bend your knees to get the quality of more back stretch. Navel to spine, tuck your buttock under, and fold in. A lot of stretch here as you draw your navel to spine. And if you can do that, it's almost like the Halloween cat stretch up here. You can even fold your forehead, and you could straighten your legs. This is actually, you could keep going with your arms down and back behind you. The spine is going toward more flexed here. Definitely. Back stretching. Okay, now let's roll down to the floor and set up for a couple versions of pranayama. Kapalabhati, that's how I pronounce it. I heard it recently slightly pronounced differently. So stack up some blankets so you have a pretty good height. I would go or sit in a chair. Cross your feet out in front and make your, let's do this first one with the shins crossed, so your feet are kind of almost supports for your knees. And your knees are level with your hips. In a Kapalabhati breath, very extremely effective for clearing energy. So it's an exaggeration of our normal yoga breath. So as you exhale, everybody exhale slowly by drawing your navel back to spine. Keep the lift of your chest. Inhale, spread your belly out. And you can even take your hands to your belly. And exhale, navel to spine as you lift your chest up. Inhale, belly opens. Exhale, navel to spine, slow. Just think about it right there. Now, after your next inhale, we're going to do that a little faster, so it's like a faster version of that. This goes back. Try it a couple times as a reminder. It's all about here. Okay, and you can use your mouth at first. If you're a little more experienced, eventually you'll go out through your nostrils. So rising up, exhale completely, close your eyes. And you know, I wanted to say something before we get going. I've been practicing this a lot, and lately I would recommend having your eyes just slightly open, slightly closed, mostly closed, but maybe there's a little opening. I think it just helps the brain stay a little more alert. So let's try that. If you notice you can keep your eyes closed and you can stay focused in your body, go ahead and close them. So opening up, and we'll do about pulsations of about 30, and then take a long inhale, hold at the top, and a long exhale and hold the breath out. And we'll do 2 rounds of that. So inhaling belly, and begin. Inhaling deeply. Hold the breath in. Relax your jaw, relax your tongue. Focus in on your belly, back. Exhale slowly, rising energy up through your exhale. Hold the breath out.
you hold the breath out, think about the inside of your skull. Put your attention there, your third eye. And then inhale when you need to in your belly. And just return to your normal breath, normal flow of breath. When you're doing the Kapalabhati, you want to prevent a lot of unnecessary moving up here. It's normal when you're first learning, but try to keep the energy down in your belly. So let's do one more round. Opening up, inhale. And exhale completely. Line up the roof of your mouth over the floor of your pelvis. Inhale fully. And beginning. You can go slower, or you can go about twice as fast. You can go, I'm going to do this version a little faster. But you can go this slow speed like we did the first round. Inhale slowly, belly to chest. Hold your breath. Drive your navel back to spine. And slowly exhale, rising breath up from the core of your pelvis up through your inner eye, your light inside your skull. As you exhale, hold the breath out there. Think about like a candle-like flame inside and behind your eyes, right above the roof of your mouth, the soft palate. And let your belly breathe and open slowly. If you feel a little lightheaded, that's normal. Just let yourself experience the normal breath. It is called skull shining. It translates to that clearing. Allowing your awareness to stay in your body, in the subtle energy flow, through that central channel it's called, and maybe even feeling some connection to the spread of energy from your heart up through the soft palate. The soft palate up through and into the brain area, the energetic third eye, Anjaneya. Slowly open your eyes if you have them closed, and switch the cross of your feet to the other one on top. We'll do one more round of pranayama and then shavasana. So take your other leg in front. And please lean a little forward, situate your seat so you're on the front of your sitting bones generally, and you have your neutral spine. Lean side to side so there's some balance between the sides of your seat. And once you've established yourself mostly in the center, then rising up again through your trunk, roll your shoulders back, and please line up the top of your head right over the floor of your pelvis. You can even take your hand to the top of your head like this, or both hands, and press up into your hands. Keeping that, let's take alternate nostril breath for 3 rounds. So take your right thumb to your right nostril, exhale completely through your left sides open, keep the lift of your chest. Relax your jaw, your tongue while you inhale deeply into your diaphragm. Close your left side as you exhale, the right side's open. Keep the sense of expanding energy through your heart as you slowly exhale. Inhaling, the right side's open, relax your tongue and eyes. Close right side, exhaling left. Same thing, keep the lift of your sides. At the end of your exhale, your navel will draw back to elongate your exhale. Inhaling, let your belly open, expanding breath. Close left side, exhaling, the right side's open. Inhaling. Close right side, the left side's open. Next 1 round. So can you take 2 more rounds at your own rhythm, making your breath as even as possible. Smooth out, slow down your breath. As you slow down your attention, your mind into this breath practice. As you finish your last round, just take your time to finish. And eventually take your hands to your lap, turn your palms open. We'll finish with 2 rounds of Ujjayi Pranayama, holding slightly at the ends if you find it easeful. If it's not easy, then drop that holding. So exhale completely, sound of your breath, like a sound of HA whispered. Inhaling slowly, count 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Holding or not. And exhaling 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Holding, breath out. Inhaling slowly. Continuing on your own pace for 2 more rounds, slow and smooth. Smooth out your brain into the sound of your breath.
eventually relax into your normal stream of breath flow as you slightly adjust your posture. Palms turn down on your lap. Notice your breath through your nostrils. Notice your breath through your heart. Notice your breath deep in your belly, behind your navel, like an orb of light, like a miniature sun that expands with the incoming air as it's pulsing in its own rhythm. And move that awareness to like a miniature ball of energy behind your heart as a warmth. Touching the inside of your heart, that central felt inner core view, that the most sweet harmony resides of your most joyous, what could be called your most enlightened self. Touch into that core essence of you, felt here as light, love. Let the breath tenderly touch into that sacred region. And then move your awareness to the space behind your eyes, above and also intersecting with the space above your soft palate inside your head. Soften your neck, soften your face. Imagine light, like a sacred candle-like flame there. Light of wisdom. Intuition. We'll finish that mini meditation, can be used anytime. We'll lie back for Shavasana now, lie down on the floor on your back. Take rest and receive, just release and relax. You may like to take a blanket under your head or covering up with blankets, socks, what you have. Shavasana. start to roll onto your side and slowly rest there on your side as we make our way eventually into more waking awareness. And we'll come up to a comfortable seat as you finish. As you come up, take your time. Of course, take your time in Shavasana. If you're good there, then by all means, stay there. And we'll officially finish with your hands together. I bow to your unique mixture of strength and lightness. I bow to deep joy within you. And may you get a little taste of that today or in the next few days as the yoga practices continue to unfold and continue to work for you. I bow to you. Namaste. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining today. Good to see you.
Hi, Jan.
The recording has stopped.
Yeah, thank you. Good to see you. Thank you so much. And I'm so glad you figured it out, Jane.
Yes.
Yeah.
Technology is a challenge.